Hi friends, welcome to my channel, Lying Around Sewing. My name is Megan. This is Joey, my fiance, and that is our dog Obi that you can see standing down there. There he is. He just turned 2 years old, and then we have another dog named Ridley who is right there. He just came in, and he will be 4 years old this year. Now that we got introductions out of the way, I wanted to say welcome to the video about me getting ready for Galacticon. This is us bringing in all my plushies, hats, all the tables set up. So right now we're gonna get the tablecloth on and we're going to set up the wire grids that I like to use for my Artist Alley setup. I just ordered some new wire grids off of Amazon. My new ones are gonna be white. They're gonna be a little bit smaller than these. I think my current ones are 14 inches by 14 inches. These new ones I bought are gonna be 11.8 inches by 11.8. I wanted to get some smaller ones because my plushies don't usually stand up by themselves. So my hope is if I get a smaller grid that I can put more plushies in, they won't have as much space behind and they won't have the empty space behind them in the grids. And I'll have more table room. So either I'll have more table space behind the table that I can sit stuff on, or in front of the table where I can display things. I also wanted the smaller size cubes so I can fit more individual cubes on a 6-foot table. Right now I can only get about 4 wide on this table. So I'm hoping that having a smaller one will let me have more individual cubes or section it off. Because I do work with a lot of different fandoms. So like Pokemon, Animal Crossing, League of Legends. I just want to be able to separate them out. So if you're looking for a specific fandom, you can see it and you don't have to, look through everything else. You can see like, oh, this is from Pokemon. Here's all the Pokemon plushies she has. That's what I'm going for. We also recently, I got this shelf for free. I found it. The people behind us were moving, and so Joey and I cut it down and made it almost like a stepping stool shelf, and those are going to be in the front of the table. I don't believe I have it in this video because we acquired it after Galacticon, so hopefully in my next video for Lexington Comic and Toy Convention, you will see it in that setup. But that also added more plushie space, more area that I can put specific fandoms in. So it kind of broke everything up a little bit more too. I'm also playing around with smaller cubes because I have my first convention that I'm going to fly to. I have MegaCon in Orlando, Florida in May. So the hope is I will have less space filled up by my display and more space to pack merchandise. I also have been shopping around at Goodwill's to try to find suitcases that will work perfectly. I was able to find one that actually would fit these grids, the 14 by 14, because for Southwest, the max width, I believe, is either 14 or 16, and all the ones I had were too small. They wouldn't even fit the grids, but I knew that I could get a bigger one to take as a carry-on is what I was looking for, because for carry-ons, they do not care about weight. Of course, you have to pull it around and pack it around and be able to put it in the overhead bin compartment. So you need to be able to lift it still. But as for the 50-pound restriction, that is just for your checked bags. So with Southwest, you can do 2 checked bags, 1 carry-on, and 1 backpack. So my plan for this is putting all my display, my banner, and the new step ladder display we have in my carry-on. So this little structure right here is what our little step stool thing I keep talking about looks like, but this is one I built out of cardboard before we found it. I would love to do a tutorial on how I made this, because for Galacticon, it worked great. And it was super easy if you have a lot of cardboard laying around. This was great for that. Of course, it doesn't hold a whole lot because it's made out of cardboard. There are ways to make it stronger, but if you're just doing displays for plushies or lightweight things like I am, it was a great, easy, quick display to make. Now this little cart I got from Target, I believe it was like $5. I thought it would be so cute to display little foods on it. I haven't done that yet, but I also have another one that we keep in our kitchen, and I do keep sticks of Pocky on it and like muffins and things like that, and I think it's super cute. Now you're gonna see I'm gonna start putting my stuffed animals out, my merchandise that I have for sale, and I do get really discouraged because I spent a couple of days making multiple of the same thing. So those little sushis, I made like 11 of them. It took me like a day and a half. Then I had my Loki gators that have magnets in them. That took like another whole day. I spent like 2-3 whole days on the squeakoids because I also had orders of them that needed to go out. So I spent a lot of time on those, and I have a whole bunch of them made, but I was just really discouraged because I didn't have that much variety. Everything else you see, like the Raven hat, the Bulbasaur, the Sylveon, I already had those made. So I was also like, these didn't sell last time. What makes me think they're gonna sell again? So I was just really discouraged. I stood back and I looked at all this and I was like, I don't have that much stuff, and the convention's in a week. So I also had some Animal Crossing fossils left over, and my next plan was to make a whole lot of fossils, bell bags, leaves. There's also a Team Aqua bandana that I've had for a little bit. I did also make the Fuecoco, I believe is how you say it, and the new starter grass. So the new starter the new starter grass and the new starter fire for Pokemon. So that was a fun thing to add. Here's a look at the display after like my first sample setup. I liked it. I was just wanted more. So then here I am adding some more stuff. You can see I made some dongos down there in the left. I added my stickers to the board. I add a little Scream plush. Then my axolotls are up there. My green arrow I've had for a while. And I actually sold him at Galacticon. Funny story, someone was like, how much is your little ninja man? I think they're like green little ninja man. And I was like, $5. And Joey was like, I didn't know you had a little green ninja man. I was like, I don't, it's Green Arrow, but you know, whatever they want, that's what it is. So I was able to sell him. I'd had him for quite a while. He actually is hand sewn. He's made like I used to make my plushies when I first started out. I did a blanket stitch around it. But I'd had him for many years and it was time for him to go, and he found the right home. So I was happy about it. I have all my axolotl stickers out there except for Ebony. who is the black axolotl. But as you can see, I have Mint Chip, Tang, Lou, Crim, and Iris. Then I have my screams that I'm putting up right there. These were so fun to make. I used my embroidery machine for the faces and then machine sewed the white face onto the black. And people really liked them, and I loved that they were kind of smaller, simpler, but still very detailed. So to help me feel better, I also put all my bell bags out. I think I do the same for all my fossils, all my pitfall seeds, and it just made it look so much more full. I knew that this wasn't going to be the final setup, but it made me feel accomplished. It made me feel happy. I wanted to see all my hard work out there, even though I knew I wouldn't display it like this. But also, it looks so colorful, and I just love it so much. I do a deal with my Animal Crossing products, like the fossil, bell bag, pitfall seed, leaf. They're $10 a piece, but if you buy all 4, you can get them for $35 instead of the usual $40. I do the same kind of deal online, but they are more expensive because you have to pay for Etsy fees and for shipping. But if you're new to Artist Alley or selling at conventions, this is something that you should look into and see if there's any of your products that you could do a bundle on. Also, for my dongos, they're 1 for $5, but you can get all 3 for $10. So I sell more dongos that way because more people usually want one of every color, or if there's 3 friends, everyone can get one and they can split it. But I'm also selling more dongos. So that's a fun thing to think about, as well as stickers. A lot of people do 1 for $3, 2 for $5, or 1 for $4, 3 for $10 kind of thing. And it helps you sell more, but you're not really losing money on your product, because in the long run you're going to be selling more, and it didn't take you much more time to make that 1 extra sticker or whatever it is you're making, if that makes sense. This was the final setup before I went to Galacticon. Now I'm just kind of moving things around and seeing where I like things placed until we head to Galacticon. So I will see you in the Galacticon footage. So we got up early, we headed to Galacticon, we got some Dunkin', and it was nasty outside. It was raining, and then later you'll see it even started snowing. And this is in the middle of March. But I wasn't gonna get discouraged. I didn't have super high hopes for this convention because it is a 1-day. I've never done it before, and with the weather, I was like, I know I didn't want to get out in this weather, so there's probably a lot of people that felt the same way as me. But I would still do this convention again and give it another try, because I think I talk about it later. The table was only $60. It was only 30-minute drive for me. Not bad at all. I made some great friends, made some networking with people in Delaware and like Pennsylvania, Maryland area. So here's the final table setup for Galacticon. I really liked this setup, and I wasn't gonna do it for LCTC, but I actually eventually changed my table display to this archway because I really liked how it looked.
So Alligator Loki keeps falling off because my hair gets tangled around his horn and then it pulls him off. But it's going good. We only have about an hour left in the show. Sorry I didn't film much, but Allie and Ed came by too, so we were chatting and taking turns walking around for most of the first half of it. It's kind of died down now. So as you saw, it snowed and it was raining nasty this morning. So between all that though and being a one-day show, the turnout's been pretty good and I'm pretty happy with it. I haven't done exactly the math on how much I made, but table was only 60 bucks. I couldn't remember. I thought it was like 95, but it's only 60, so that's good. More profit. But other than that, just had a good time. My Scream Ghost Face sold out so fast. I need to make more for Lexington Comic Con. And I don't think it was the very first sale, but the second sale, I sold all my axolotl stickers, like the whole set of them. Like not the faces, like the sticker sheet, but like individually. And I was so excited. I'm glad people like them. And we sold an axolotl shirt that says Contain Rage, and I was surprised that that sold too. So I need more axolotl shirt ideas. No squeakoids, surprisingly, but that just means I have more to ship out. And then I was pretty sure Appa and Mini Appa wouldn't sell just for this like little one day. I tried to go for more cheaper items, like $5, $10 items. So yeah, after this we're gonna go eat. I believe Joey and I are gonna go eat at the Crooked Hammock and just get a bunch of appetizers. That's where we ate after Dover as well. So,
and that's a wrap on Galacticon. I believe the total I made was $200 or so. So definitely not my best in sales, but I'm not upset about it. It was a fun time. I forgot to mention that it was also 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., so it wasn't long at all. Like, I could have still done a lot with my day. It was just like a fun morning. So again, I probably would do this convention again in the future.
Like a succulent also, right?
yeah.
Is that right? Okay. I was like, it's like a fall one or a succulent? I don't remember which. I was like, but I think succulent sounds very familiar.
Yes.
And someone came and almost bought the cat, but they decided to also look around. Because then I was like, it sits on your shoulder. And they were like, oh my god, that's so amazing.
I know, I forget to tell them that sometimes. I think that's a big, like, seller.
Comment below if you're like me and when you go to a convention and you go to pack up, you just throw everything back in the boxes or the suitcases. Like when you're packing up for it, you're very organized, you have all your hats together, all your plushies together, whatever it is that you sell. But when the convention is over and you're ready to go home, you're like, just put it in the box, just put it away, I'll organize it later. Because that is me. So if you do that as well, comment below and make me feel better that I'm not the only one.
Done. What are you doing with that?
And that was Galacticon 2022. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!